Hey everybody, thanks for joining us tonight on our team Zoom. I'll get started with announcements and recognition. So announcements, Success Club, push for Success Club. We're getting towards the end of the month. Now is the time to really step it up. And I put this in our team page not to focus on the points at all, focus on helping people. If you focus on, I'm going to reach out to 3 to 5 new people every single day and just check in with them, see how they're doing, invite them to join a free cleaning group or a challenge group, Success Club will follow. If you make your goal of helping people, Success Club will follow. So don't stress out about points or anything like that. Just make your goal helping people. And then we're going to be hosting a 5-day sneak peek into coaching group that starts a week from today. The group is already set up. You can add people in there probably starting Thursday or Friday. So invite to that. Make a goal to get at least 10 people in that group. And we'll have a ton of energy. It'll be super fun. Tips on how to invite on our team training site, theeliteedgetraining.com. So you go there and get the scripts. And then our free group started today. It's a 10-day group. So if you're in that group, just comment, post, share healthy tips or workouts or, just positive motivational quotes or anything like that. So keep the energy up. And that's all I have for announcements, I believe. And then recognition. Who is it? Success Club 10. We have Rachel Smith has hit Success Club 10 and Lisa Surfiani. Sorry if I butchered your last name. And I believe she's going to be Emerald on Thursday. So way to go, Lisa. And then Kim Miller has Success Club 6. So does Becky McFarland, Kat McMaster, and Jean Reed has 5. And then top producers, Kat McMaster had 600 PV last week. Rebecca McFarland, Jean Reed, Rachel Smith, and Kate Myers all had 400 PV. Way to go, you guys. And then top recruiters, Kim Miller had 2 new coaches last week. And then Cassie Simone, Lainey Parker, and Madison Avila had 1 new coach. And then Cassie Simone is a brand new Emerald coach. Way to go, Cassie. All right. Megan, do you have any announcements, recognition, shout outs you want to do?
Yes, recognition. We have new Emerald last week is Laura Martin. Congrats. I don't know if she's listening or not. And then we have a couple pop in this week, which is exciting. And a lot of people hit it on Thursday, so they'll get recognized this Thursday. Success Club 10 so far, myself, Allie, and Kara. And then Success Club 5. And if you guys didn't update the doc, that's why I didn't say your name. So update the doc or call out if you're there. Chiang with 8, Leah with 8, Haley Janes with 6, 8 by the end of the day, I believe she told me. Andrew McMath with 6, Katie Barrett just hitting 6. And we have a lot of people very, very close. I know we have Laura Martin 4, Missy 4, Rachel Loria 4, and I believe Heather Krause now 4. So even if you're at 0 or I was going to say or less, that doesn't make sense. Even if you're at 0, like Rachel said, really go into the rest of this month with your goal to help people. And don't be scared to get a no. That is my, today Darren Daly was all about going for no. And it's so true because you're robbing them of this opportunity, both in the coaching and fitness, if you don't go for no. So, yeah, that's it for us. We have a cleaning group going on right now as well. And then challenge group starting next Monday, 21-day fix group starting Monday for the team. And we have our live event tonight at 9. So that'll be exciting. Rachel, do you want to give really quick, just a quick sneak peek of our call for next Monday so people can maybe start thinking about what they'd want to post?
Yeah.
How we talked about the coach opportunity post.
Yeah.
Just really quickly, next week, we're going to do a call on coach opportunity posts, how to present the coaching opportunity as an advertisement, not just advertising for your challenge groups, but also advertising for the business. In my opinion, and I know Rachel agrees with me, our best product is the opportunity. The health and fitness is great. Yes, of course, but this has changed our lives much more than that has. So if we're not really searching for those people who need this in their life just as much financially, emotionally as they do physically, we're robbing them of that opportunity. So we really want to start shifting the focus to presenting the coaching opportunity just as much. Even if you're a new coach, you still can totally do that. So we're going to go over coach posts, events, things like that. So that we'll go through all that Monday, but come if you guys can, with some pre-homework, come with like a rough draft of a post, especially if you're good at writing, and maybe share it on the call. We can like help each other out. So, all right.
Cool. All right.
That's
Well,
it.
tonight we have Kim Miller is going to be speaking. And just so you guys know, she's a rock star. She's been a coach how many months? 4 months now? Less than that?
Since middle of June, or it's like beginning of June, I guess.
Yeah, and she has hit successful every single month since she's been a coach. So she is a success starter. She earned her summit ticket for free, and she's already a team builder, which is freaking awesome that she's already done that. And she's like this close to diamond, so you'll be hearing about her in the next couple of weeks. But she has a lot of value to add to our team tonight, so you can take it away, girl.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It's funny because I was just thinking about that today. I saw your post about me becoming a team builder. And it's funny because I was so focused on that in the beginning. I was like, I'm going to hit that benchmark and I'm just going to keep going. And then I got to this point where I was like, okay, I'm going to stop focusing on that. And I'm just going to focus on people and doing what I like and talking to people and building relationships. And like, I didn't even realize that I was growing that way, that I was hitting my benchmarks. So maybe I should keep a better eye on those things, but it's just kind of cool that it happened and I didn't have to like force it. So yeah, that's really cool. Okay. So let me see. So tonight I want to talk to you guys about uncovering your why, because I've been doing this for only 4 months, but my why has changed so much and so drastically in such a short amount of time. And I think it's talking to people. It seems like it's pretty normal that your why will evolve over time. Sorry, I lost where I was going right here. Let me share my screen with you guys so you can see. So, here we go. Uncovering your why. I love this quote that, oops, come here. I can't move it. Okay, the only thing keeping you from getting what you really want is the story you keep telling yourself about why you haven't done it yet. So I think that's so great because your why is really going to be the thing that's going to pull you through those tough times when you start to struggle or you start to question why you're doing this or if you're really making a difference. So it's really important to have a really good idea of why you're doing what you're doing. And the whole reason this training came about is because I went through a struggle last month where I think it was a combination of getting a little burnt out, like going so hard for so long that I just kind of naturally had a little bit of a burnout. And then just getting really overwhelmed with what I thought I was supposed to be doing. And comparing myself to other people and what expectations I had of myself. So when I was in that rut, I had a really hard time trying to figure out how to get out of it. And I started thinking about my why and how to use that to pull me through. And I had some interesting realizations. And so that's kind of where this training is going to come from. Let's see. Oops. Okay, so have you guys ever, I want you to think about this for a minute, felt like you got stuck in a rut or that you had a mental block? And there's Rachel. Really, Rachel? Did you ever feel like you couldn't make progress? Like maybe you just felt like you couldn't make more money than what you were doing, and no matter how hard you tried, like it just wasn't working the way you wanted it to work. You couldn't bring yourself to talk to any more people. You couldn't stand to message any more people, add any more people, or put yourself out there on social media. Or maybe even you've reached a level of success where you got there and then you wondered like, wait, why doesn't this feel like how I thought it was going to feel when I got here? Like this doesn't feel as fulfilling, or it's just not what I thought it was going to be like. So that's kind of where I was at. I was feeling like I was stuck in a rut. So when I was going through this event or this feeling, did you stop and think about your why? How did it make you feel thinking about your why in that situation? So for me, I felt stuck. I felt paralyzed. Like I just couldn't gain momentum. I didn't know what to do to push myself through it. So I started thinking about my why. Why am I a coach to begin with? For me, it was that my original why was that I wanted to bring my husband home from work. We live in Florida and he works up in Alaska for 2 weeks out of the month. So he's gone for 2 weeks straight, working in Alaska in the oil fields 24/7. So I'm here home with our 3 kids, doing everything by myself. And my why when I first started this was to bring him home from work so that we could all be a family and enjoy our time together, and that my business would take care of our finances. So I started thinking about this when I was in my rut. So I want you to think about that for a second. When you've been in one of these situations, what did it feel like to think about your why? Something that surprised me was that while I wanted to bring my husband home from work, it was my biggest financial business goal. When I was in that moment and I was stuck, it didn't motivate me to keep going. It didn't push me through. Like it was exciting to think about that as a possibility, but it wasn't strong enough to like pull me out of this slump. So if it doesn't motivate you or help you break through those roadblocks or whatever you're feeling like you can't move past, it's probably time to reevaluate your why. Because your why is going to be the power, the force that's going to push you through those times and keep you growing as a business person or as in your business, and then as a person, like just as an individual. And that's really what I feel like we're kind of all after as business people in this, in coaching. Like we're here to grow as people and to help other people realize their goals. So it's not what we get that's going to make us happy. It's who we're going to become in the process. So what would be holding you back? If your why is not strong enough to pull you out of this funk or the situation that you're in, what could possibly be holding you back? And some of the things that I thought about: time, money, help, a strategy. Sometimes people think it's their leadership or that it's even their team that's below them. Like I was feeling, for instance, that I just didn't have enough time in the day. I'm home with these 3 kids and I just don't have the time that it's going to take to devote to what I want to do. So I'm not going to be successful because I don't have the time. And the thing I realized after listening to a lot of personal development was that all of those things are resources. And without being resourceful myself, I'm not going to get anywhere. Like I can say all day long that I don't have enough time or help. I don't have the strategy. My team's not doing what I want them to do so that I can grow my business. But really it's about what I have inside of me, what I believe about myself, and what I tell myself that's going to make the difference in pulling myself out and succeeding. So what are some of the negative things that other people have told you about yourself? Whether, usually it's when you're growing up, like, you have certain experiences or disappointments, or you make certain decisions and people tell you certain things and you start to believe them. Negative things people tell you about yourself and you actually start to believe them. So I want you guys to kind of take a second and just think about 2 things that you may have been taught or told about yourself in your life. Negative things that you think could be holding you back from achieving what you want to in your business. So just take a second. You can write it down if you'd like to, or just kind of think of 2 things real quick. Now, those things become your belief system about yourself. They play over and over in your head again, and you start to believe them. And especially in times of uncertainty or when you're fearful, when you're starting a new business and you really are kind of like trying to gain your footing, those thoughts, those voices start creeping back into your head and you start reliving it. You start believing it that, maybe you're not good enough or that you're not going to be successful for whatever reason. So again, my recent experience was that I started to feel really overwhelmed in my business. I got to the point where I felt paralyzed. Like I wanted to work. I wanted to do these things every day, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it. So I started focusing on my why and I didn't feel motivated by it. I was like, what in the world is going on with me? I want to move forward. I want to bring Chris home from work, but it just wasn't enough to get me going every single day. So you can want something all day long, but until you believe it, it's not going to happen. Until you believe that you will get through something, it's not going to happen for you. And the thing that was going to bring me through this was to find out what was really honestly holding me back. So I happened to talk with Rachel that day. I met up with her and we were just hanging out, and she was asking me, you know, what's been going on? Why do you feel like you were having trouble? And I was telling her, I was like, you know, I'm really focusing on building my own team now, and I want to focus on their why. I really want my team to have a strong idea of what their why is, so that, because I feel like when you understand what you're motivated by and what you want in life, it's going to make everything so much easier. And then to be able to have my team, my coaches turn around and do that for other people. Like, that's really what it's all about. So she suggested that I start watching Tony Robbins videos, and that's kind of where this all came from. So a lot of this is just Tony Robbins, like, reiteration, but it's just such great stuff that I just had to share it. So I just needed to figure out my mindset. So my belief in my story, this is what I've been telling myself. The story that I've been playing over and over in my head was that I don't matter. I just do what I'm told. I don't deserve to have an opinion. My opinion is not valued. That I am a shameful person, that I don't deserve to be happy. I deserve to feel guilty and terrible about myself for the rest of my life. I believed that I was a failure, that I was worthless, and that I would never be successful in life because I wasn't smart enough, I'm not creative enough, I don't work hard enough, and I'm just not enough in general. Those are things that I've been told my entire life by different people at different times, but I was told them enough times that I started to believe them, or at least when things got tough, they crept back into my mindset, and I was like, this is getting really hard. I'm not being successful in my business. It's because I'm not creative enough to come up with really interesting and cool posts to attract people. I'm not, working hard enough, talking to enough people. So how on earth am I supposed to be successful in my business if this is a story that I'm telling myself? So we want to find out and understand what our why is. So if you think about this for a second, like, what would you do if you never listened to that story again? If you weren't tied down or held back by those beliefs, what would you accomplish? How much easier would it be to keep growing as a person and in your business? And what do you want to feel? What is the opposite of those negative beliefs? So for me, I felt like I wasn't valued. I wasn't creative, that I was supposed to feel guilty. So for me, I need to feel like I have value, that I am creative, that I am free of guilt, that I'm accomplished, and I'm proud of myself. So for me, it was just taking those negative beliefs, turning them around into a positive, and making that my why. So I didn't know it at the time, but when I got into coaching, it was because I needed to feel valued. I needed to feel all of those things. That's what really is going to make the difference for me. So what you have to do, I'm going to try to speed this up since we're getting close to 9 o'clock, is divorce the story that you've been telling yourself all these years and marry the truth. So your old story, that whole story about how you're not valued or that you don't matter or that you're not good enough, that is your story. You need to divorce it. Like, they are now your ex. So it was an unhealthy relationship that it's not doing you any good. It's holding you back. It's not good for you. You need to move on. So you got to divorce it. Clean break. You are done. End of story. When you start feeling sorry for yourself, you can't call them up and be like, I miss you. Like, let's talk. You can't do that. You're done. So you've got to turn your negative beliefs into positive ones. So it's sort of like, I guess it's sort of like affirmations. I am valuable. I am creative. Whatever those things that you were told, you turn them into a positive. So this is the story that you're going to tell yourself now. This is going to be the story that you marry. This is your truth. This is who you really are. This is going to be the new story that you tell yourself over and over and over again. So when I divorced, I think about this now and I look back over the last few years of my life and I realize, oh my gosh, I've actually done this a couple times. I didn't realize it at the time, but this is what I was doing. So when I started my weight loss journey, was when I divorced my old story about weight loss, that I have had 4 children, that I was just going to look like my mother. That was just the way it was going to be. And that weight loss was really hard and I couldn't stick to it. And I didn't have the time, I didn't have the money, all of those things. I was done, fed up. I divorced that story. I said, no, I'm not going to believe that anymore. What I choose to believe is that I deserve to be happy. I deserve to be healthy for my family and for my kids. And so I married that idea. That story, I played over and over in my head when I was going through my 21-day fix. And because I did that, I accomplished my goals. Another example, when I divorced and rewrote my story about relationships, I got out of a bad marriage. I grew into the person that I wanted to be and the person that I knew that I could be. And then that was also the time that I found my now husband, Chris. So it's super, super powerful if you can sit back and think about what negative story you've been telling yourself your entire life and turn it around into a positive and start repeating that to yourself over and over and over again. And this is completely related to your why. So some of the strategies for success to be able to move forward, because you're going to say, I am leaving this idea of this old person and these old stories and beliefs about myself behind, and I want to focus on the positive and moving forward. So you're going to need a strategy. So you got to replace that old story with a new one. And a couple of the things that you can do is to do incantations. And this is something that I just started doing myself. Like positive affirmations are where you just kind of tell yourself over and over again, I am, unique. I am a valuable person. I love myself. I am a good person. But an incantation is where you use your entire body and your voice to command yourself and your body to do what you're telling it to do. So you're going to repeat your new story over and over to yourself until you believe it. And Rachel was telling me that she was doing this too, I think, where you actually have to move your body. So she said she gets up and walks around and repeats the same things over and over and over again so that you are changing your physiology and your body is responding to it and you start to believe it in your mind. And so one of the things I do to get really excited if I've got some energetic thing that I want to do, get pumped up, is to walk around and tell myself out loud, I'm going to do this. I am well equipped. I know what I'm talking about. I'm going to have fun doing this, and just repeat over and over again until I start believing it. Another thing you can do is to change your state. And that is really important. Like when I was in that rut, if you're in a situation like that and you feel like you can't move forward or you can't get any, gain progress or traction in your business, is to change your state in that moment. And really what that's doing is taking that feeling, that physical feeling of, man, I just feel paralyzed. I can't bring myself to even message anybody on Facebook or make a post. That in that moment, you just have to be fast, quick, immediate action to change how you're physically feeling. So what you do is you move your body how you want to feel. So I want to feel alert and ready to go and to talk to people and excited. And I want to be positive and really empower people to want to change their life. So I have to start moving like how I feel. And I want to start breathing in a way that's going to make me feel like I'm ready to do those things. And I'm going to think about the way that I want to feel. And that is going to get me ready to go and to be able to talk to people. So I talked a lot about your story, and in the beginning a little bit about your why and how it kind of evolves. And they are related. And I mean, a lot of times people, you start out in your business and you have an idea of your why. And sometimes that is strong enough for people. And that is totally awesome. That if you are able to nail down your why in the beginning, and that is something that can carry you through, that is an amazing thing. So hang on to that. But for me, it just evolved over time. My needs have changed. My wants are changing. And so I think it just sort of happened this way, that as my business grew and I feel like I'm becoming more of a leader to my team that I'm growing, that my why has changed. So it started as something completely external, just focusing on retiring my husband from his career. And then it's evolved into really what I need and what I believe about myself, because that is what is going to move my business to the next level. Thinking about retiring my husband is great and it's going to push me so far, but understanding my why, that I need to feel valued, that I need to feel creative, and that I need to feel like I matter to somebody, is what is going to push me to continue engaging with people and building a business. So I am a coach now. My why is that I get to be creative in the ways that I attract and engage people. I get to feel valued when I can offer people information or my experience. I can share that with them, or to help them with their weight loss journey. I feel empowered by watching people achieve their goals and in reaching mine. So my why has completely evolved. And so I want you guys to just kind of think about, what was your why when you began your business? Has it evolved, and why? And if there's anybody that has any questions or would like to share sort of how their why has evolved, it would be really great if you guys would share. Or Rachel or Megan, if you guys have any input about how yours has changed over the years, people who have been coaching a lot longer, I think it would be great for all of us to hear that.
Sure. Dude, you rock, by the way. So my why when I first started was just to get a discount on Shakeology, honestly. Like, that was my sole motivation. And then for a couple of years, I was getting my master's. And so it was, okay, I can help with a couple $100 right now, and like pay for groceries or something like that. And then when we were broke, we moved to Florida and got pregnant, it was crap. Like, we need to make this business work so we don't have to be on food stamps and I can stay home with my son. And now it's, I want to be able to pay off our house and we can move to Africa and start different businesses and do other things. So your why will change with every different stage of your life that you're in, because you're going to be in this business for the long haul. And so just recognize that, pretty much. But by the way, everything that Kim is talking about is pretty much all Tony Robbins. And if you haven't done his personal development or anything yet, do it. If you go, I posted all kinds of stuff because I'm actually working with the Tony Robbins coach right now. I have so much personal development that they said I could share with the team. If you go to our team page and you search Tony Robbins, you'll find it all. There's like a Google Drive and Evernote. I have all kinds of stuff. So he says that success in this business is 80% mental, 20% mechanical. And so you have to be able to control your mindset to be successful in this business. And so focus on that and seriously do Tony Robbins stuff because it's awesome. Okay, that's all I got.
Yeah. That's what's going to be the difference for you, though. For all of you, I'm talking to everybody, that you are able to be in that 80%, that you can control your mindset so that you can move past that. Because he says he's spoken to how many millions of people live over his 30 years of doing this. I mean, everybody in the world wants to be able to unleash that power, to be able to use their mind to control what they do. And so to be able to do that is insane, because not only are you going to be able to accomplish your business goals, which, that's great. That's material. It's something you can it's not an intrinsic, you can see it and feel it, but to be able to grow yourself as a person, that to me is way more important. So hit up Tony Robbins on YouTube, man. This stuff is awesome. Oh, I'm just now seeing the chat stuff. Would anybody else like to share?
Don't be shy.
Or maybe if you're struggling, trying to figure out what your why is.
Yeah, who is struggling to figure out their why? Okay, we have some hands raised. Kim, you want to help them out? Unmute yourself.
Oh, I couldn't hear. Yeah, unmute yourself, please. Tell us what's going on.
Hi, everybody.
Hey.
I've been a coach for, about a year and a half, Megan? Yeah. At first, I thought my why was my wife is currently a stay-at-home mom raising our 4 kids, and I don't want her to have to go back to work unless she really wants to, which I think she does once the kids get in school, but that's never been a driving force for me. We make enough money right now that we're living comfortably. We're not getting ahead so much, but we're not going underwater. And I'm struggling big time on figuring out a why. I want to do it for our kids, but that doesn't push me through whenever I'm struggling or in a rut, like Kim was saying.
Yeah, so I mean, and that's the thing. Like, I struggled with guilt when I realized this because I thought the same thing. I'm like, I'm doing this for my kids. I'm doing this for my husband. And I was like, oh man, if that's not pulling me through, like, what does that say about me? Like,
Yeah.
But the truth of the matter is, when it comes down to it, if you dig a little deeper, it all comes back to you and how you feel about yourself. So how did you find out about Beachbody? Like, what made you become a coach to begin with?
Probably Megan's persistence. No, my wife bought Insanity online. She had just had our twins and wanted to get back into shape. So I started doing it with her, and Megan messaged me week after week, and finally I quit ignoring her and thought it would be great to make some money. And
yeah,
it's like I said, my initial why was to provide more for my kids and keep my wife at home. But like you were just saying, like, I feel bad that that's not a strong enough why, but it's just not. We're doing fine financially right now. Yeah, I'd love to make more and be able to take the kids on trips, but I guess I got to dig deeper into that and figure out exactly what that why is.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. I think some people can have that why where it's like, I want to make a certain amount of money, or I want to pay off my student loans, and that gets them through until they reach that goal. But for some of us who have to dig a little deeper, I think that's when we have to ask ourselves, what have we been telling ourselves? What is that story that we play over and over in our mind that might be holding us back from really breaking through in this business and really being able to accomplish our goals? So what I have learned, and Badass, You Are a Badass, which somebody was talking about in the chat here just a minute ago, is another great book because she talks about your subconscious and how you want to achieve all of these things, but your subconscious like suddenly comes out and is like, no, you can't. Like, where do you get off thinking you get to be successful and have all these things that you want, and kind of self-sabotage? So I think something that maybe you should kind of just focus on is just taking some time to think about what your story is, what's been told to you, and think about that, and then think about where you want to go from there. You want to turn that around, do it positive.
Yeah, when you were talking about what people have told you, I can't really think of anything that people were putting me down about growing up, but I'm extremely what's the word I'm looking for? Critical of myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very hard on myself about everything I do, and I'm very fearful of failing. And I got to get over that. And maybe I should read the book you were just talking about. Megan's told me about it before, but right now I'm reading one of Tony Robbins' books, and I'm really enjoying that. I just need to finish that one first.
Yeah, Tony Robbins is awesome, but Badass is like, it's so amazing. Like, it just totally gives you that fire, and it kind of explains some things too, about why you might be feeling the way that you do. But yeah, being self-critical, that can be a super hard thing to overcome. But I know Tony Robbins talks about too that fear, what does he say? Rachel, you know this better than I, about being courageous in times of fear. What is the saying? I forget. I failed Tony Robbins, man. Whoops. No. Gosh, I wish I could remember off the top of my head. But what is it? Yeah, I'm sorry. I've forgotten what it is now. But yeah, definitely finish with your Tony Robbins. I like watching his videos on YouTube because his energy just totally gets across to people. And definitely try to read Badass.
I'm
And
actually
if you
here.
can, go to a live event of his. He has Unleash the Power Within, which I'm going to next year. And I know like Amy Silverman and Brandy Botts and a bunch of the top coaches go to those. Going to live events is something that it just changes everything. And so
I think
that would
he's
be
going to
like
be
my
in.
number one recommendation.
Yeah, I think he's going to be in Phoenix or Vegas in October, or maybe it's November.
22nd, 23rd. He'll be in Vegas,
Okay.
I believe.
Okay. Yeah, Vegas is only like an hour and a half away, so I'll definitely have to look into that.
Dude, yeah. That's like life changing.
It'll really change everything, y'all, for real. I'm going next year.
You said October 22nd and 23rd?
I believe so. We'll be at like leadership or something wait.
Keegan, I'll be in Vegas at that time. So if that's the case, then we have to go to that together.
Okay. I'll
We'll
look
put
into
that
it.
up tomorrow and let me know.
That
Okay.
was meant to be.
Right?
Let's go.
I'll be in Las Vegas at that time randomly.
think-
Sounds a little shady, Megan.
Yeah.
Who is that? Who is that?
Jamie.
Oh, okay. My dad lives in Vegas. I'm there all the time.
Yeah, I've seen your pics. I'm
Oh.
struggling big time with my why. Originally, when I started under Megan, Hanky, who stepped down, it was to replace the vehicle. It was to be able to take trips, maybe get my husband out of the truck since he doesn't have any other skills. And now it hasn't done anything for me. Other than trying to push myself, I've gotten nowhere. And I struggle with trying to figure out where to meet new people to add to my network, because a lot of the groups I'm in are specifically focused to specific things. Like I'm huge into cake decorating and baking, and the people that are in those groups are only talking about those things specifically. So to try to post about health and fitness doesn't work. I'm in a couple trucker groups and I'm sharing in there, but I really struggle with trying to get somewhere with it. I've been trying for a year, more consistently the last 5 months.
What do you think
But
is holding you back? Because we have a lot of training on adding to your network that I know you've gone through. So what do you think specifically is holding you back? Because that can't be it.
I don't know. I mean, aside from the fear of rejection, because forgive me for crying.
Not at all. Go
Something
ahead.
it happens. I think the biggest thing is the fear of rejection. I mean, growing up as a kid, I was the chunky one, but I wasn't fat. But everybody rejected me. I didn't make friends in school. I didn't do the sleepovers and all the things that other kids do. That wasn't my life. That was my sister, but it wasn't me. I was the one at home reading and crocheting and hanging out at my grandma's house and learning how to cook different things. I know when I married my first husband, a lot of that was because I was born in the late 60s. My mom raised 2 kids by herself, and her siblings told her that it was the stupidest thing, and us girls would be nothing but trailer park trash. We'd be white trash. We'd never marry. We'd never succeed. We'd never do anything. And I was 6 years into my first marriage when I realized that was why I married him, was to prove those stupid people wrong who haven't been a part of my life since my grandmother died.
Yeah. So it sounds to me that acceptance for who you are, who you truly, truly are, would be something really validating or important to you.
Yeah, and I am one of those people that's always needed validation to know that I'm doing the right thing, and I don't make excuses. I justify, which it's still an excuse. It's just a different spin on an excuse. And my last trainer told me that, and it's like, yeah, you kind of got a point there.
Well, in all honesty, everyone needs validation. We just seek it out in different ways.
Right.
So for you to be able to be so honest about how you're really feeling and the struggles that you're facing, and that you've been working at this for a year and really hard, being more focused and dedicated the last 5 months, shows that you want to make a change and that you're ready to make a change, that maybe you just haven't figured out how to do it. So,
and that could be, I mean, I know I've not completed a program yet. I've tried 21 Day 6. Autumn she's too easy for me. She's too much of a social butterfly in her workouts for me. I played with LaMills. I did almost finish that, though I didn't follow the nutrition. I played with Insanity. I did do the full 60 days Insanity Max, but I didn't follow the nutrition. I didn't commit to it, and I'm restarting that today. So nutritionally, I've been pretty much on target today. My before and afters are out there on my page with my measurements, including the brutal scale weight at the doctor today that told me that I'm 22 pounds away from the highest weight I ever hit, which really, pardon my language, ladies, because I do live with a truck driver, but it pisses me the fuck off that I got back to almost my highest weight because of life circumstance beyond my control and stuffing my face as an emotional eater.
I hate to tell people what to do, but I really feel like go back and just think about your story. Think about those thoughts, those things that you tell yourself over and over again. Because if you're not being successful with your nutrition, you're not sticking to your workouts, if you're not getting on and adding people every day, if you're not talking to people, there's reasons why you're not doing those things. I speak from experience because I was doing that just a couple weeks ago. I mean, I didn't work out for 2 days in a row the last 2 days. There's a reason why, because I'm letting those voices creep back into my head. It's a constant thing. But I think for you to go back and evaluate objectively, just sit back and think about it. What maybe you have been told your whole life, make a list. That's what I did. I made a list. I'm a list maker. And then I have a plan to go and then think about the positive version of that and how I want to feel. How do you want to feel? And then you'll be able to kind of figure out what's important to you. And it will kind of evolve into you being able to stick to what you want to stick to and accomplish your goals.
Yeah.
And this is a recorded call. The slideshow, everything will be on there, so you can come back and look at it and refer to it and walk yourself through it. Okay?
Oh, yeah, I do that. I do that from time to time. And I know I'm still, having been a single mom the better part of the last 24 years of my life, I'm very focused on making sure everybody else's needs are met before mine. And being in the truck with my husband 24/7, I have to learn how to step back and define my business time and my personal development time. And that's a conversation he and I have to have, because I have a tendency to put my personal development on hold, but I can sit in the passenger seat all day and send, messages to whoever I want, post whatever I want, because I have the whole day to do whatever I want for the most part. But I need to get into a more regular routine and schedule my day so that, this chunk is this chunk is that, and just do it. Because I know how to do it. I just need to get past myself and do it.
And that's where I think that personal development. Rachel, go ahead.
Yeah, if you're in the truck all day, why don't you see me with my Bluetooth headset all the time. I mean, you could download Tony Robbins' books on Audible, and that whole time you're in the passenger seat, listen to that. I mean, you could get the CDs too, so your husband's listening to it, because it won't hurt him to listen to it too. But
I've tried listening to a John Maxwell book with him that I downloaded on the stereo system here in the truck, and he is a non-stop commentary. He doesn't buy into it.
I would get the headset and then download all of you can of Tony Robbins and just have that playing on repeat. I've listened to some of his books over and over and over again, so it sticks in here. That, I think,
Right.
is the number one key to your success.
It really is, because when I do stick with my stuff, things seem to go a whole lot better. And it's just a matter of putting myself first enough to make sure I do that every day.
Cool. Well, thank you for sharing. That's awesome of you. I give you a virtual hug.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you, guys. It'll get better, and I know it will.
There you go. Rachel had, I think, were you trying to say something earlier, Rachel Smith? You're muted.
Yeah, is my mic working?
It is now. Yeah, I heard you.
Okay, cool. So something that I was just going to add today, I'm reading You Are a Badass as well. I actually just finished it today. And closer to the end, there's a page that just talks about writing your own mantra. And I worked on it today, and it was really empowering. We actually went and looked at a house that we want to buy tonight just for inspiration. And so really just like sitting down, and I know that we talk about affirmations a lot, but like something that I wrote down just to the start of it is I see myself making $80,000 by December 31st, 2016 and being a 5-star diamond. And so writing down something like that, and then just writing down like how I'm going to be able to fulfill certain things that make me happy with that money. And then also writing down that I'm already grateful for that. It's helping me find my why and remake it as well, because I'm totally in that process right now too. Initially, I was like, okay, this is like really about finding a purpose for me and helping people and all that stuff. But really, like I'm getting down to the nitty gritty, like more detailed, like, okay, what really is pushing me? Because last month was like a total flop for me. I was negative too. Like I sold one challenge pack and then I got a return and I was at 0. And I was like, oh my God, I just poured all this stuff into this month and all this. So I really decided like, okay, well, I'm having a shit month. How am I going to make this like turn around for me in the next month? So I started really creating a routine, and a part of that is maybe, Jamie, like this could be something that helps you. I started doing at least 10 pages of personal development, but I'm also doing at least 20 minutes of audio too. And I write down reasons why I'm grateful every single morning. And then I try to do an exercise from either Tony Robbins or another self-help book that I'm reading at the time. And it's really helped out. And rewriting my mantra, like maybe once every couple weeks, has been helping too. So maybe that's just something that'll help other people out there.
Heck yeah, that's amazing.
That's awesome.
Fist bump. That was awesome.
You're awesome. Thank you so much for sharing all your stuff tonight.
Oh, thank you. No problem. That's a thing. Like, you guys have questions? I'm an open book. Ask away. That's awesome. Like, we're kind of like on the same little vibey journey, I think, trying to figure it all
we
out.
started coaching the same month.
Oh, there you go. This is what to expect at month 4, everybody. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Anybody have anything else?
Marina.
Oh, cool.
I see you.
Yeah, I have like this, like I'm honestly, Kim, you really rocked it. I'm so impressed by you. 4 months as a coach, and you're speaking like you're a diamond coach. You're speaking like a leader. You're speaking like a leader. You're setting the example and tone for yourself on how you're going to build your team. So I applaud you for that, because that's where it starts. It starts in your mind. The title doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. Diamond, Ruby is how you guys present yourself and your posture and what you're putting out there to people. That when you're doing that, everyone, that is really going to set the tone for your team and yourself, and to keep your mindset strong. I just want to say quickly, because I know it's getting late, but Jen Sincero, love her. She also says to keep your frequency, your energy at a high level. If any one of you read that book, she keeps saying that to keep your frequency high, your positivity high, because like attracts like. And I really do affirmations every day in the car. I speak to myself and I say to myself, I am a 6-star diamond coach. I am a leader. I'm a good mom. I'm a carer. Everything I want to accomplish, I will be more patient. Everything I want to accomplish in my head, I am making $2,000 a week to provide for my family, because your why does change. Your why does change, but it really comes down to your why. Your why also has to be bigger than you. For me, it was so big that I couldn't, and excuse my language, I couldn't give a shit what other people thought about my posts or anything else, because I had to get it done. Okay, that's when it's unshakable. That's when I really saw, when Lindsay, when you have big success, it's when your why gets so freaking bigger than yourself. Lindsay Matway, her why was huge. I really related to that. I'll share you guys with my story one day. I'm not ready, but I'm telling you, my why was huge in 2015. Huge. Made a huge difference. And I started acting the part. So start acting the part and just be like, it's easy to say be unstoppable, but like find it in your core to bring out that light in you. Like everyone says, there's only one you, the only one story that people are going to relate to you. I can't say it enough. And guys, be at Summit next year. It's going to rock your world. Okay. It's honestly really, really inspiring when you see the top coaches on social media with the smiles and things like that. Do not think for a second that they do not struggle every single day like we do, because they do. Okay? Tracy Morrow had me in tears. Ask Rachel. In tears. Because she was so powerful and truthful. These are real people. This is a real job. We are doing something special. So when it becomes bigger than ourselves, because that one post, maybe 10 people will be like, what's she talking about? But if that can reach out to 2 or 3 people that really make a difference, that's what you have to focus on. And that's what's going to come more. I had to say that. I get really passionate, but Kim, thank you so much. I'm so again, I'm really impressed. So yeah.
Oh, you're so sweet. You really made me grow.
Awesome. Well, Kim, you're amazing, and we love you. So good job.
Oh man, you guys are great. Thank you so much. I totally did my incantation to build myself up for this. To find my
goes on stage, he goes crazy every time.
Yeah, it's crazy. It kind of scared me, but I'm working up to that.
I'm not at his level yet, for sure. Cool.
Well, thank you so much for everyone for being on. This was an awesome call for all of you guys, and being involved and participating and sharing yourselves. Thank you so much.
Cool. Well, I think it's time to say goodnight. So thank you, everybody, for being on. And do the assignments. Write down everything that she talked about, the limiting beliefs, and then switching over to positive beliefs. Do the work, because that will make the difference. Cool. Well, thanks, Kim, and good night, everybody. We'll talk soon.
Bye, everybody.
Night.
Good night.
Bye.